lumber prices fall by 40%.
Oh, great.
So lumber futures fell by more than 40% in June alone, which is the worst month, which that means literal in magnitude of decline since 1978. So this is a good sign for the kind of to fight back against long-term non-transitory inflation in some ways, because it shows that customers are finally reacting to such prices, not buying as much because the price tag has finally got to a level where they really don't want to pay for it. And the thing is, we've had such a hot housing market. In April, new homes accounted for 1 in every 4 homes, where historically they only count for 1 in every 10 homes. So we were buying homes at 2.5 times the rate, wanting new homes to be made, which is probably a big byproduct of COVID and everybody wanting to live away from cities. So it seems that the bubble has burst in lumber. The peak was May 7th, when there was an all-time high of about $1,670 per thousand board feet, which is 6 times higher than it was in April of 2020 during the pandemic's low. So it's definitely a very big difference in how much it soared. But it does look like the bubble has burst. But something to still look at is the CRB Raw Materials Index, which is still at a 10-year high. And the reason that some economists and analysts still look at that as helpful to kind of gauge how this plays out for inflation is that index tracks materials that are not traded on futures exchanges, which means that it's a better reflection of the actual supply and demand, because it literally just has to do with the actual amount that is being sold and purchased and used, as opposed to what market participants are speculating. Because again, futures and forwards markets are nothing more than every other market, completely 100% forward looking. So everything that you see is speculation on an asset's price into the future, not currently, because nobody values things today. They always value things tomorrow. Even discounted cash flows involve 5 years of growth expectations diluted to today's prices. So the whole concept is that there's definitely still lots of inflation, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign, at least in lumber, that's coming down. Hopefully, it'll help work its way into the housing market, bring down some of those prices. It's still about 2 times higher than it normally should be, but definitely a good sign. So definitely a good sign in this regard. So we'll keep an eye on that. But lumber futures down 40% within the last month.
That's good. I know it was at too high of a price. Too high of a price. So
Right.
too,
Well, no, because we can grow
comparative
more
to the
wood.
universe, if we
But you
actually
can't.
did commerce with the universe, then we'd be like, all right,
Right,
then
but
we can hike it up. Oh, dude, he
no.
sniped
But
us out so hard, but
it
at the same
takes so
time, I'm just
the
like,
amount of time it takes to make the amount of time it takes to pressurize minerals into making diamonds versus the time it takes to grow a tree are very different.
Dang it.
So
I
I
was
would
muted during that
argue
whole
that
time.
I would argue that there are more diamonds in the universe than
wait,
there are trees.
Josh, did you say you were muted the entire time?
Yeah.
So you just said that whole spiel.
And then he just let it roll without listening to a single
Josh,
thing while we
on
just
the
like.
Yeti there is a light. It blinks when no one can
I
hear you.
just saw
So you have
that it wasn't on.
I- you
But
should get a camera that
No,
points just at
it's
that,
But
so
yeah.
there's a
probably did
screen
that on
dedicated
purpose.
to
pretty
that.
much all I said was that wood should be valued a lot higher than diamonds, seeing that its accessibility and its only place that it exists in the universe so far
That's
we
also
know
that's also
is
not true.
here
That's
on
also
Earth.
saying
definitely
that
a planet
we're
out there
not
that's more
even
on it.
out there in the universe yet. So
And so why are we
Josh is just
using
usually
one of our
so
greatest
wrong. And
resources?
what Josh likes
Josh
to
is
do is
just
he likes to
like,
say infuriatingly incorrect things to see what I would say. And every time I'm gonna
what is
bite.
that
Why?
you?
Because I want you to
Shots
know the
fired.
truth. Josh is a madman. He's a lunatic. Some of the things he says are crazy. Some of the things he says are very smart. But some of the things are just so infuriating. I just can't keep it down. I have to.
So let me
It's like
It's
ask
word
you.
vomit.